Tonight's Xfinity TV High School Football Game of the Week postgame show is being brought to you by the Pittsburgh Sports Report, Pittsburgh's premier sports publication. Visit them online at pittsburghsportsreport.com. Wow, what a bizarre game tonight. I want to call it bizarre, but it was an entertaining game. I can tell you this. I almost want to wax poetic and say it was the best of times, it was the worst of times. That's if you're Hampton. And then you could say it was the worst of times and it was the best of times if you're from Char Valley.
Yeah, and
because it just flip-flopped.
It flip-flopped dramatically, and the numbers showed in time of possession, yardage, and things of that sort. These teams mirror each other in some interesting ways. We knew that there was a lot of skill for CV, but they wanted to establish some other things perhaps first before they could take advantage of that. And you know what Hampton's going to do? They're going to run as well, and they're going to try to stop you with defense. In the first half, it was CV coming in here wanting big plays and explosive plays, but it was Hampton who delivered them with Alex Bianco's 2 long touchdowns, one by run, one by air. And then in the second half, you just saw a total different team on both sides, and for that matter, you saw those explosive plays that Neil Lobig really wanted going on his side, and boy, this Allison kid was the one who led the way. 3 touchdowns and just tremendous.
Truly, and you know, we talked about heart, we talked about soul. That's Brueggemann and Olsen. There's no doubt about it. Right now, let's go down to the sideline. Meg Bolger with Coach Neil Lobig. Meg.
All right, thanks, Chris. Coach, you told me at halftime that you were happy with the way your defense played. You sealed it with a pick. You give up no points in the second. Are you still pretty happy?
Excited about our defense. That's always been a bad part for us in the past, but this year our defense so far has played really well. And I give it a credit to our defensive staff being prepared for the first half, and I thought their adjustments going into the second half to stop the run were excellent. So it was a great second half for our defense, and our offense played well as well.
And talk about your offense. You really dominated in the second half. Your offensive line really opened up some gaps. What was the biggest difference?
I think the biggest difference was in the first half we tried to be inside the whole game with our run game. In the second half we spread it out a little bit more and got it to the edge. And our quarterback did an excellent job of making his reads in the pass game and the run game. And again, our coaches made a great adjustments at halftime, and it really helped us.
After the loss last week and the way this first half went tonight, how proud of you of your team and the resilience?
I knew this team was going to be special this year with those sorts of things. We have a great senior class. I have 6 captains who are well-deserved. Most teams pick 3 or 4, but I had 6 who deserved it. Last week was just a tough game for us. I don't think we just played our best football. And this week in the second half, we did. Defense played again good in the first half, and I think it was good for us.
All right, thanks, Coach. Congratulations. Chris?
All right, Meg, thank you so much, and congratulations to Neil Lobig. You had mentioned reads a number of times during the ball game, and he just emphasized how important that is.
Yeah, the reads, and again, we had talked about execution. We also talked about adjustments and, you know, how forthcoming they would be about that, and they did make those adjustments. Offensively, they were able to definitely spread the ball out, create more balance, create more space. We even said that as the game was unfolding in the second half about how it looked as if Hampton had so much of those things going for them in the first half, but in fact, CV was getting them in the second half. And the second key we talked about as well, and he echoed, was taking away the run game, and they were taking away Alex Bianco in particular, and that changed things. That killed drives. There were 3 and outs, and there was really nothing Hampton was able to do, not just to get plays, but to get any type of momentum at all. And ultimately, I think he does walk away feeling good about this team.
Ellis, we saw so many dramatic plays in this game, but now it's time to look at the best of the Batch Foundation play of the night, and we'll get it right here. And it was Olsen who was galloping wild tonight here, as we're going to get a look at that in just a second. Our best of the Batch Foundation play of the game. Super effort by Steve Olsen and Brueggemann, as we said earlier. But let's take a look at this best of the Batch Foundation play of the game here. And there it goes. And there's the handoff from Brueggemann to number 4. And Olsen just took it all the way to the house. This was after they were penalized before the first snap of the second half. 5 yards for having too many men on the field, so they had the ball at the 15-yard line. And Steve Olsen takes it on an 85-yard run, our best of the batch play of the game here this evening. And speaking of Olsen, let's go back down to Meg. I think he might be nearby where Meg is right now.
I wonder why.
All right, thanks, guys. You just told me you're pretty happy. I'd say well over 100 yards and 3 TDs. Pretty exciting.
Yeah, it was exciting. The first half, we were struggling the first half on offense, and then we came together, and like our coach said before the game, we work as a pack, not individuals, and we came together in the second half and worked as a pack, and I think that's why we were so successful on the offense and defense side of the ball.
What was the biggest difference in the second half? What was the mindset in the locker room when you go down 16-0?
Well, last year in the couple previous years, when we get down, we would get down on ourselves and we didn't have any confidence coming out of the locker room. And this year, we feel a sense of confidence coming out. And we just rallied together and we had a sense of confidence we could come back in this game and come back and win this game, which we did.
Talk a little bit about your defense and the way they played in the second half really held you guys together, and then you were able to open up some gaps in the offensive end.
Our defense in the first half kept us in the game, only giving us down 16 points. In the second half, when we started scoring points, they did the same thing, kept us in the game. That's one of the huge reasons why we won this game.
All right, congratulations. Go enjoy your win. Back to you guys.
Hey, Meg, he had a tremendous night, 162 yards, 3 touchdowns, an awesome evening. Well-spoken after the game as well, talking about what a team game and a team concept is in play at Chartiers Valley. They shook off a 16-0 deficit to come back to win.
Yeah, and I'm thinking about that 16-0 here and him making the comment about how the defense kept them in the game. That was 16 because of a field goal. And if my memory's correct, they had an opportunity, Hampton did, to go up by 3 touchdowns. And instead they had to settle for that field goal, which was the play at the time. But on the other hand, again, it could have gotten away a little bit more. The defense was bending, didn't totally break, and then ultimately it didn't even bend in the second half. It attacked.
I'll bring up something else, too. Remember, Hampton's first possession ended in an interception by D'Onofrio in the end zone. So the Talbots might have even scored 4 times.
Right. That's a good point. They were on a tremendous roll there. That was, I want to say, a first down pass. It was supported underneath and also over top, and they bracketed the receiver, and it was deep in the end zone. D'Onofrio made that interception. But that killed a drive that was really rolling for Coach DiMatteo and his Talbots.
Yeah.
Put an end to that.
Again, one half Hampton, one half Char Valley, and they outscored them in that second half. And the final score, 24-16. Chartiers Valley Colts win it. We hope you enjoyed watching our first broadcast of the season here on the Xfinity High School Football Game of the Week. Char Valley rallies from 16-0 down to win it 24-16. On behalf of Meg Bolger, Ellis Cannon, our statistician Mark Cohen working with us in the booth, and our stellar professional crew from Viewpoint Video Services and Viewpoint Production Services. I'm Chris Shovlin. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. We'll see you next week when we head to Montour as Indiana takes on the Spartans right here on the Xfinity High School Football Game of the Week.